Hey YouTube family, it is so great to be back with you, practicing with you for this slightly longer Vinyasa flow. I thought a great focus for this class would be movement meditation. So tuning in with our breath and connecting it with our body, connecting it with the thoughts, letting thoughts flow in easily, flow out easily, not becoming too attached to whatever comes up. And before we start this practice, I'd love if you could ask yourself, from your understanding at the moment, what is the purpose of yoga? What is yoga? Can you give a definition for yoga, what the practice is? I thought I would give a definition. It's found in this book called the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Now, these Yoga Sutras were written almost 6,000 years ago, and the yoga practice has been practiced longer than that as well, which is pretty incredible. But a sutra meaning thread, one of them being Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha, which means that the restraint of the fluctuations of our mind is yoga. So our asana practice, our pranayama practice, our meditation practice is really about controlling our mind or letting our mind be at ease. So we're not being pulled in different directions and feel like we're at the whim of our external world, but we can really practice being comfortable with ourselves, choosing to be drawn in certain directions, but also choosing to restrain. We will get started in a balasana, a child's pose. So take the knees wide, bring the big toes together, sink the hips back, reach the arms forward. And just start to take a few deep breaths here. And see with every exhale, can you pull yourself a little bit deeper into this mat, not only physically, but also within your mind space, within your heart space. Knowing that the outside world will be there for you after this practice. So for the moment, we're just putting that to a side and just spending some time with ourselves. Notice if you're holding anywhere, holding any tension, holding any control, holding any blockages. See if you can use your breath, perhaps an exhale out of the mouth, to let these slide away with ease. So one of the purposes of our asana practice is to make our body more comfortable, more strong, so that we can sit in meditation for longer with more ease. There's also lots of other benefits for it. But I thought I'd share that definition that the sutras also give. It's not just about creating fancy shapes in our body, even though that can be quite fun. It is more about how our mind responds to those shapes that we create. Letting go of any attachment, letting go of any judgment that comes up, and becoming curious and open for whatever arrives today. Every day will be a little bit different. See if you can find your ujjayi breath, so the constriction of the back of the throat. It should feel like a snore, like you're about to fog up a mirror. And that gives us something tangible to listen to focus the mind on the right here, right now.
See if we can keep our focus still, but start to walk the hands over towards the right side of your mat if you have one. Come up onto fingertips and see if you can reach your left hand away even further. So making this more of an active balasana. You could stay here. Another option is to take the right hand, bind it behind your back towards your left hip or inner thigh. And see if you can draw the left shoulder down slightly. So finding a little bit of a curve through the side body of the left side. Take one more breath. Release the right hand if you've bound it. And let's walk over to the other side. Coming up onto fingertips if you haven't already. Using your breath in to lengthen and expand. Using your exhale to deepen. Again, you could stay with both hands on the ground. You're more than welcome to take the left hand behind, trying to bind with the right hip. See if you can use this bind to open the left shoulder slightly and drop the right armpit towards the ground. So big opening for the side body. Unwind here. Walk the hands back towards your knees. Use your next breath in to sweep both hands up. Pressing the palms together, lift your eye gaze, draw the tailbone behind you. As you exhale, bring the thumbs down your forehead towards heart center to bow your head. Inhale, lift. Expand. Exhale, draw it in. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Start to walk the hands out into your tabletop position, but then keep traveling your hands a little bit further. Take a big breath in, hips land over the knees. As you exhale, soften the heart space down towards the ground. Now you can stay with your hands extended in your puppy pose, or you can bring the elbows towards the ground, press the palms together, and tap the thumb towards the base of your neck. Again, using your inhale to lift your tailbone, to curve through the spine a bit more. Using your exhale to deepen. Both our inhale and exhale they're different. They're designed for different things. But we need both of them to help us, not only in our asana practice, but literally to keep us alive. One more breath. Release the hands behind the back, from behind the back. If you have them, walk yourself back into your tabletop position. Spread your fingertips wide, then press through the palms to round through the upper back. Draw your eye gaze in between your feet. Perhaps shift the ribs from side to side, curling through the spine a little bit. Keep finding your breath. If you lost your Ujjayi Pranayama, bring it back. And then find your way back to a neutral spine. On your next breath in, can you draw the right knee into the nose, round through the upper back, belly to spine. As you exhale, press the right heel away, option to lift it higher and to lift the eye gaze. As you inhale, draw it back in. Exhale to kick away, maybe lift the eye gaze, belly comes down. One more time, inhale, lift. Exhale, kick. Inhale, draw in. This time, scoop through the belly, maybe coming up into fingertips to send the right heel forward, but keep the hips drawing back. Ardha Hanumanasana. Maybe giving a little shift from side to side, forward and back. Use your next breath in to bend into the right knee, lift the hands up, Anjaneyasana. Maybe lifting the eye gaze as well. Exhale to deepen into your hips. Inhale to bring the hands back towards the ground, shift the hips back. Exhale to fold. Inhale to re-bend into the right knee, bring the hands high. Exhale, deepen, soften the shoulders. This time, bring the left hand towards the ground, bring the right hand towards the ceiling. Tuck onto the left toes, lift the left knee off. Take a big breath in to lift. Exhale, revolve the top shoulder back slightly. Start to pivot to the outside edge of both feet. So the left heel comes down, turn the right toes towards the side. You can always draw the right foot down a little bit. Take a big breath in to lift the hips. As you exhale, soften the hips down, press the right knee away, reach the right hand back. Inhale to lift. Exhale, deepen. Soften the shoulders. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to come back up through center. Replant the right hand, maybe wiggling the right foot forward if you took it back. Either bring the knee down or you can keep up. Stay in your low lunge. Option here to perhaps bring one elbow towards the ground, maybe two elbows. If you're somewhere in between, if you've got a block, you can also use your block here to bring your forearm down on. Try one more breath. Replant the hands towards the ground if you're on your elbows. Send the right foot back into your plank. Take a big breath in. Shift your weight forward slightly. Engage through the core. Either knees or toes. Chaturanga. Bend the elbows close towards the body. Untuck the toes. Inhaling baby cobra, or a bigger variation if you felt like you had space. Stay here for a breath or two. We're not fully extending the arms yet. We're probably not warm enough unless you're super bendy. Draw the elbows back slightly, broaden across the collarbones, squeezing the glutes. Take one more big breath in. As you exhale, roll down through the spine, press up onto your knees, find your way back into your tabletop position. Let's try that on the other side. So use your next breath in to press away from the ground, draw the left knee into the nose. As you exhale, kick the heel back, just in line with the hips, or if you wanted, kick it high. Inhale to draw in, round through the upper back, exhale, kick away. Cat and cow variation, inhale to lift, exhale, send it back. Inhale, draw it in, scoop through the belly, start to draw the left heel forward, but keep the hips back. Maybe shift forward and back slightly, just being a little bit dynamic with our warming up of our muscles in our joints. Use your next in-breath to transition your weight forward. Lift the arms, lift the eye gaze, press the palms together. As you exhale, hips go back, Ardha Hanumanasana. Inhale to transition forward, maybe baby back bend. This time, let's bring the right hand towards the ground, reach the left hand towards the sky. Take a big breath in to lift, maybe tuck onto the right toes, lift the right knee off. Exhale to spin a little bit deeper. Press the right heel away. Start to draw the right heel towards the ground, left toes turn towards the side. Option to wiggle the foot back a little bit more. Take a big breath in to lift the hips slightly. As you exhale, draw the hips down, reach towards the back. Inhale to lift. Exhale to reach. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Movement with breath. Inhale, bring the left hand towards the ground. Find your lizard lunge again. So maybe staying up on the knee, although you can tap the right knee down. Maybe one elbow comes down, maybe two elbows come down. A little shift forward and back if that feels good. Stay here for one more breath. If you're on your elbows, come back to your hands. Let's set the left foot back into your plank. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, Chaturanga, come halfway. Baby cobra or upward facing dog if you're feeling warm. Draw the shoulder blades back. As you exhale, come up and back into your Ardha Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. Few moments here to just make this feel really good. So maybe pedaling out the feet, drawing one heel down, drawing the other heel down, lifting the tailbone high. And just notice the width of your hands here. If you notice that they're really close together, see if you can take them apart. Like my pinky fingers are almost touching the outsides of the mat. Try one more breath here to deepen you, not only physically, but mentally, emotionally here. Use your next breath in to walk yourself up towards the top of the mat. Feet can be together or slightly apart. As you exhale, fold forward, draw the chin in towards the chest. Again, maybe a little bend of the knees here, a little rock from side to side. Opening up the back body. But we're still engaged through the front body, so drawing the belly in. Tucking the chin in towards the chest. On your next breath in, start to bend the knees, hips back, arms up, Utkatasana. Exhale to deepen here. See if you can draw the ribs in slightly, engage through the core, shoulders come back. Start to lift the heels off the ground. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, start to lengthen the legs, sweep the hands back, dive yourself forward. Imagine your heart space was trying to pull down towards the front of the mat. Use your next inhale to bend the knees again, sweep the hands high. Maybe your hips come down towards your heels. As you exhale, re-bend, dive it forward. Maybe your heels come up a little bit higher. Try this one more time. Inhale, drop the hips down. Exhale, lift up. Try to keep the heels lifted as we lift ourselves up tall. Urdhva Hastasana, hands reach towards the ceiling or the sky. And then exhale, heels come down, hands by the sides. Take a big breath in, reach up tall. As we exhale, bend the knees, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhaling, halfway lift, hands to shins. Long spine. As we exhale, place the hands down, step back into your plank. Just hold here for a few breaths. Take some circles on the wrists here. You can bring your knees down at any point. And something that I see quite a lot is that the shoulder blades dump down. And that's usually a notice that our core isn't as engaged as well as the upper body. So keep pressing away from the ground. See if you can turn the backs of your elbows towards the back. Take a big breath in, shift your weight forward slightly. As you exhale, bend the elbows close. Inhale to open. Imagine like you're pulling the hips through. Exhale, come up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. On your next in-breath, sweep the right toes high, three-legged dog. As you exhale, draw the knee into the nose, round through the upper back. Inhale, tap the right knee towards the ground. Exhale, draw it back in. Set the right foot in between the hands, plant the left heel towards the ground. Inhale, open Virabhadrasana 2 towards the left. Arms are wide. Press the right knee out. Squeeze the shoulder blades back. Use your next in-breath to frame out the right foot, tuck onto the left toes. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. As we exhale, fold again, but come up onto your heels. Find your dive position, sweep the hands behind you. Take a big breath in, and then reach your hands towards the ceiling. Keep the heels up, and then bring your heels down, Tadasana. Take a big breath in, reach tall. Exhale, bend the knees, ripple it forward. Movement meditation. Inhaling, halfway lift. As you exhale, bring the hands down. Option here to jump back through your Chaturanga. So exhaling as we bend the elbows close. Inhaling to open. Exhale, come up and back. Downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Eye gaze is behind you, maybe in between the feet. Use your next in-breath to sweep the left toes high. Left hip is down. As we exhale, round through the upper back, draw the left knee towards the nose. Inhale to tap the left knee towards the ground. Exhale to press up, lift the left leg towards the chest, then step it in between the hands. Plant the right heel down, open Virabhadrasana 2 on an in-breath. So try to revolve the hips and shoulders towards the side. The back toes are pointing towards the side of the mat. Left toes are pointing towards the front. Use your next in-breath to bring the hands towards the front foot. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. As we exhale, fold it back again, but come up onto your toes, lift the heels. Inhale, find your dive, sweep the hands behind you. Use the strength of the core and the back. Use your next in-breath to reach the hands high, keep the heels lifted. Exhale, hands by the sides. Same sequence, but we're going to add on just a little bit. Use your in-breath to lift. Exhale, dive it forward. Find your dristi. Inhale, halfway lift. Eye gaze is soft. As we exhale, place the hands down. Step or jump back through your Chaturanga. Inhale to open. Exhale to come up and back. On your next in-breath, sweep the right toes high, three-legged dog. Soften the left knee here. As we exhale, draw the right knee towards the nose, round through the upper back. Inhale to tap the right knee down. Exhale, press through the hands, step the right foot in between the hands. Place the left heel down, open Virabhadrasana 2. See if you can deepen here on your exhalation. Start to take the hands behind the back. Clasp the hands together, then wrap the hands towards your left hip. See if you can press the palms together. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Eye gaze forward. Take a big breath in. Start to lengthen through the right leg. As you exhale, start to lean towards your right foot. Trikonasana. Start to shift your eye gaze towards the side or maybe the ceiling. So both knees are slightly soft, so we're not locking out our legs entirely. And still engaging through the muscles by pressing the feet towards the ground while also drawing up energy. Start to shift the eye gaze towards the front again. Pivot onto your back toes. Find your high lunge. And draw the knuckles down your thigh. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, step forward with your left foot. Uttanasana. Reach the knuckles forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Keep the bind. Exhale to deepen. Pull the pinkies forward. Release the hands. Inhale to rise. Lift the arms. Lift the eye gaze. Exhale, hands by the sides. Inhale to lift. This time, lift your heels off. Draw the ribs in. As you exhale, bend the knees. Lower your hips down towards your heels. Inhale to dive. Lift the hips up. Keep the heels lifted. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana. As we exhale, bring the hands down. Step or hop back through your Chaturanga. Working your way back to your Ardha Mukha Svanasana in your own breath. Let's try this on the other side. Use your next breath in, sweep the left toes high. As you exhale, ripple yourself forward, draw the left knee into the chest. Inhale to tap the left knee. Exhale, bring it back high, step the left foot in between the hands, plant the right heel. Open Virabhadrasana 2. Reach the hands long, shoulders pull back. Deepening on your exhale, start to wrap the hands behind the back. Draw the knuckles towards your back right hip. Use an in-breath to start to lengthen through the left leg. Reach the crown of the head forward on your exhale. Revolve that top shoulder back. So we're using the strength of the core to hold us up here. If the bind isn't for you today, you can bring the hands down towards your shin or a block. Start to lift the eye gaze back towards the front. Come up onto your right toe. Take a big breath in to slide the knuckles down. As we exhale, step forward, Uttanasana, pinkies forward. Inhale, halfway lift, keep the bind. Exhale to dive again, soft knees. Release the hands. Inhale, bring the hands above you, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, lift the heels, lift the hands. As we exhale, lower the hips towards the heels. Inhale, rebound, keep the heels off, dive it forward. As you exhale, Uttanasana, plant the heels down. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lead with the crown of the head. As you exhale, bring the hands down, find your way back into a down dog. It might just be straight back. Nice, we're pretty warm now. On your next breath in, let's sweep the right toes high, three-legged dog. As we exhale, draw the right knee towards the right elbow, round to the upper back, then set the right foot outside the hands. Now you can either bring keep the left hand on the ground, you come up to your left fingertips, or you can bring a block underneath your hand. Start to scoop the left knee in towards the chest on an in-breath. As you exhale, press the left heel out in front of you, drop the hips down, or option to keep the hips lifted, maybe in a pistol squat position. Place the left hand back down, start to scoop the left knee back into the chest. Exhaling, stepping behind. Well done. Rotate the left heel towards the ground, either keeping the right hand on the ground, coming up onto a block, or bringing the right elbow towards the thigh. Find your Utthita Pajvakonasana, your extended side angle. We're going to flow this. So on your in-breath, can you scoop the left hand underneath your right thigh, reach towards the right side of the mat. As you exhale, open back to the side. Inhale to reach. Exhale to revolve. Press the elbow or shoulder into the thigh. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Strong core here. Start to extend that right leg long, finding your Trikonasana again. So again, you can also bring your block down here if you need a little bit of support, a little bit of height. Another option, again, is to find the bind. Clasping the hands behind the back, drawing the knuckles towards the left hip. Revolve the eye gaze. With or without the bind, start to look forward, pivot onto the left foot. High lunge, take a big breath in, draw the knuckles down if you have them clasped. As you exhale, step forward, Uttanasana. Release the hands, inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, place the hands down. We're going to go straight back into our Chaturanga. And meeting our way back into your downward facing dog. Let's try that on the other side. Use your next in-breath, sweep the left toes high, draw the left hip down. As we exhale, draw the left knee towards the left elbow, then step the left foot outside the hand. Remember, you can always bring your right hand to a block or come up onto fingertips. Start to draw the right knee into the chest and an in-breath. As you exhale, press the heel out. Option to keep the hips lifted, or you can rest. Use your next in-breath, draw the right knee back into the chest, and then step back into your lunge. Draw the right heel down. Left hand might come to a block, might stay on the ground, or your left elbow might come onto your thigh. Reach the right hand up and over. Let's find our flow again. Use your in-breath. Draw the right hand towards the left side of the mat underneath your left thigh. As you exhale, revolve. Draw the right hip back. Lift the eye gaze. Inhale to revolve. Exhale. One more time. You're going to stay in this position with the chest. Start to extend the left leg long. Maybe you bring the hand up a little bit higher. Option here to find the bind again. So bringing the hands behind the back, drawing the knuckles towards the right hip. It really just takes the arms out of the equation so we can be more within our core. And if you notice you're dumping down into the lower back, the lower rib, see if you can come up a little bit higher. Start to shift the eye gaze forward. Bend the left knee, pivot onto the right toes. Inhaling, high lunge, keep the left knee bent. As we exhale, step forward, Uttanasana. Reach the pinkies forward. Inhaling, halfway lift. As we exhale, bring the hands down, your Vinyasa to the back of the mat. So if you want to add on anything along the way, you can. Just reconnect with your breath here. If you've lost your Ujjayi breath, can you bring it back? Also just notice your mind and what energy is flowing through it. Is it easeful? Is it feeling quite clogged? And if you can you use your breath to just let it release a little bit? We'll just add a little bit onto that flow and then we'll be ready to cool down. Take a big breath in, sweep the right toes high, three-legged dog. As you exhale, draw the right knee towards the elbow. Step the right foot outside the hands. Start to scoop the left knee into the chest on an in-breath. As you exhale, kick the left foot out. This time, let's all lower to our hips. Extend the right foot out a little bit more. Left hand comes behind us. Turn the pinkies away. Take a big breath in. Find your wild thing. So lifting the hips, reaching the right hand behind. Try one more breath here. Keep squeezing the glutes. And then lower yourself down. Bring the left hand towards the mat. Bring the right foot a little bit closer towards you. Take a big breath in to press up. Draw the left knee into the chest, then step it back on your exhale. Draw the left heel down. Place the right hand or right elbow wherever it feels good. Open yourself into your Utthita Pajvakonasana. Use your in-breath to draw the left hand towards the right side. Exhale, open, left shoulder, left hip back. 2 more times, inhale. Exhale. Find length through the spine here. Inhale. Exhale. This time we'll stay here. Option to take a bind. And we can do that by drawing the shoulder down a little bit more. on the inside of the thigh. You could start with a half bind by taking the left hand behind, clasping towards the right hip. If you wanted to try the full bind, you can take the right hand behind the thigh. See if you can clasp the hands, fingers. If you can't reach, maybe use a strap. See if you can deepen into your hips here. Press against the thigh to open the left shoulder up. If you've got the bind, keep it. If you don't, that's no worry. Start to lengthen through the right leg, finding a bound Trikonasana. Any point you want to release the bind, please do. Keep the eye gaze lifted. Start to shift the eye gaze towards your right foot. We're going to take a little hop towards the top of the mat, maybe a few hops. Transfer the weight into the left foot. You can do this with or without a bind. Use your next breath in to draw yourself up. So the knees off to the side for your birds of paradise. You can stay here. You could play with extending the right leg long. This is just an option. If we don't have the bind and we're practicing finding our way there, you might just have the right hand behind the left thigh. And you can have a go with extending, but really make this feel good for you. One more breath. And then when you're ready, bring the feet down towards the ground. Take a big breath in to lift. Exhale to dive it forward again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down. Step back, jump back, go straight back to your down dog, up to you. Use your next in-breath, sweep the left toes high. Left hip down, left shoulder down. As you exhale, draw the left knee towards the elbow, then step the left foot outside the hand. Use your in-breath to draw the right knee into the chest. Exhale to send it out. Draw the heel down, left foot comes out slightly, right hand comes behind to turn the fingers away. Use your in-breath to lift your hips, reach the left hand behind you. If you want more of an opener, try turn your heart towards the sky. Squeeze the glutes, one more breath. And then lower the hips down towards the ground. Replace the right hand, draw the left foot in slightly. Use your in-breath to press up, draw the right knee in. Exhale, step it out. Draw the right heel down, left hand comes wherever it would like to go. And find your way, Utthita Parsvakonasana. See if we can draw the right hand in between the thigh towards the left side. Exhale to open. Inhale to reach. Exhale. One more time. Don't lose your engagement of the back leg. Keep squeezing through the quadricep. Find your way back into your Utthita Parsvakonasana. Option to find a bind. Remember, this is optional. You can just stay and hang out wherever you would like. If you are, drop the shoulders down, maybe finding that half bind first, and then maybe finding the full bind. See if you can draw the right shoulder back. Start to lengthen through the left leg here. It doesn't want to straighten the whole way. You want to keep that engagement of the core. Try not to lock the legs out. Ujjayi breath. Keep that control. And then start to shift the eye gaze towards that left foot. Take a few steps, a few hops, or one big hop towards a half squat. Transfer the weight into the right foot with or without the bind. Start to lift your knee high. Lift up tall through the crown of the head. Draw the shoulder blades back. Root down through your right heel. Option here to extend the left leg long. Remember, you don't have to use a bind. You can just have the hand around the back of the left thigh. One more breath. And then place the left heel down. Breathe in. Lift the arms, lift the eye gaze. Exhale, release, come down. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, bring the hands your way back into a balasana. You might just step it straight back. Find a few breaths to reconnect. Another great benefit of our asana practice is that we just move so much energy. Opening and closing and spinning and twisting and revolving. So just having a little bit of fun and playtime on our mat. Not only releasing any blockages in our physical body, but also maybe releasing any stagnant energy within our mind and our heart. Take one more big breath here, maybe breathing in through the nose, inflating through the back body, and then maybe breathing out through the mouth. We are going to start to slow things down now. Start to roll yourself up into your tabletop position again. On your next in-breath, draw the right knee into the nose. Exhale to kick the right heel away, maybe lifting your eye gaze. Option here to bend the right knee and take the left hand behind. Maybe you just hold for a quad stretch, or maybe you find a little bit of a kick. Squeeze the glutes here. Try to draw the right knee in slightly. We're not over flaring through our ribs here. Release the left hand. Use your next in-breath to round and draw the right knee through again. As you exhale, step the right foot in between your hands. Draw the hips back, Ardha Hanumanasana. Keep trying to tilt your pelvis forward, so almost spilling the belly across the thighs. Option to stay here, or you could walk the hands towards the right, coming up onto fingertips. Keep a soft bend in the right knee here. Draw the left hip back slightly. Use your next in-breath to come back through center. Rebend into the right knee, lift the arms. Option here for a side bend. Maybe the right elbow comes towards the thigh. You can also reach towards the ground or have a block. See if you can lift up and then out of the left hand. If you want to focus more on a deep hip flexor stretch, come back up slightly and really focus on that engagement of the pelvis by drawing the tailbone under, drawing the hips towards the ribs. Okay, squeeze the glutes here. You might feel that a little bit deeper. Just go with the variation that feels best. Take one more breath. And then come back forward. So start to turn the left heel towards the ground. Pivot your right toes towards the side. Sink the hips down into your horizon pose. Maybe the hips come all the way down. You can also slide that right knee back if you need a little bit more space. You can press through the right hand, just bring the elbow onto the right leg to press. And if none of these options feel good, come back through center and just encourage the right knee to go out from here. So it's a deep opening through the left side body as well as the muscles that are around the side of the hips. See if you can lift out tall out of your waist. And then come back through center. Keeping the left knee down, or you can take it up. Replace the right foot underneath the knee and then come down into your lizards. Second time around. Might notice a little bit of difference here. Maybe another elbow joins you. It's also kind of nice if you do have a block or something to rest your forehead or your elbows on, so you can relax more fully into the hips. Keep encouraging the fullness of your breath here. When you're ready, if you're on your elbows, let's come back to our hands. Tuck onto the left toes if you haven't already. Extend the left knee off the ground. Step back into your plank. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, start to lower the hips down first. Squeeze the glutes. Maybe the knees land first and then the hips draw down. Walk the hands out slightly. So finding a extended cobra pose, you can also bend the elbows down to sphinx, or just as much as you need to for this to feel comfortable within the spine. I'll take 2 more deep breaths here, maybe lifting up a little bit taller. Exhaling, drawing the shoulder blades back. And lower the heart space down towards the ground. Press up onto your knees. Find your way back into tabletop. Use your next in-breath to draw the left knee into the chest. As you exhale, kick the left heel away. Lift your eye gaze if that feels comfortable. You can stay here. You can bend the left knee. Take the right hand around to meet it. Again, you can stay with more of a quad stretch and just finding some length through the hip flexor, or you can find more activation by kicking into the left heel. Draw the right shoulder back slightly. Replace the right hand towards the ground. Use your next breath in to draw the left knee into the chest. Make some space so that you can place the left heel out front, draw the hips back. You can definitely stay down the middle with your hands, or you can walk your hands over towards the left. Make sure that there is a soft bend in the left knee. See if you can use your in-breath to draw the belly button a little bit further up the leg. As you exhale, can you deepen and let go of anything that's holding you here? And start to walk the hands back through center. Bend through the left knee again. Use your in-breath to sweep both hands high. And we're going to find that side bend again. So either keeping the hips down if that felt more like you today, or lifting the hips up slightly, drawing the pelvis underneath you, reaching up and over with the right hand. And if you can't feel anything in this higher position, you can just see if you can rock yourself forward and back slightly. You shouldn't need much to just feel quite a strong sensation. One more breath. And bring the hands towards the ground. Turn the right toes towards the side, so the right heel plants. Turn the left toes towards the side, outer edge of the left foot comes down. Lower the right hips down. Remember, you can always move that left foot back a little bit. If this does not feel comfortable for you, come back to center and press your left knee out that way. Otherwise, you can even use your left hand to press the left knee out in this horizon pose. Keep trying to lift up tall out of the waist. One more breath. And then come back through center, either keeping the right knee down or lift it up. Deepen the hips here. Maybe bringing the elbows down. Maybe bringing the forehead down. And start to walk back on your hands. Tuck onto the right toes. Extend your left leg back. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, bend the elbows. Come halfway. Inhale to open. This time, as we exhale, draw the knees down, cross over your feet. Find your way onto your sit bones. Just got 1 or 2 more asanas to finish us off before we come into our Shavasana. Let's start by either extending the left leg out or drawing the left foot in. Right foot is going to come up and over the thigh. So if you do notice that your right hip is lifting off here, extend the left leg out. Take a big breath in to lift. As you exhale, a few different options. You can bring the left elbow around the shin. You could bring it up and over the thigh. If you're feeling pretty warm and you wanted to try a bind, you can try scoop the left hand in between the thigh and the calf muscle, maybe the right hand comes behind. And if we're not quite there yet, you could just start by twisting your right hand to clasp on the left waist. Or you could use a piece of fabric or something to make the distance. See if you can lift up tall on your in-breath. And twist a little bit deeper on your out-breath. Find our way back through center. And we'll just swap it out to the other side. So either tucking the right foot in or extending it out long. Take the left foot up and over the right thigh. Use your inhale to lift up tall. Use your exhale to find any variation that feels good here. And then unwind to center. Let's extend either our feet out hip width distance, or we can extend them out even further if you'd like. Bring the fingertips behind you. Use your in-breath to press the hips up, either finding your reverse tabletop, or you can see if you can extend one leg out, maybe two legs out, just as long as you can tap the toes on the ground. Squeeze the glutes, lift out of your shoulders. One more breath. And then lower yourself down onto the ground. Let's come onto our backs. Hug the knees into the chest once you've landed there. If there are any particular asanas that you would like to finish your practice on, please feel free to. I really love to finish with a happy baby or even an extended happy baby. By taking the hands around the outsides of the feet or the shins or the big toes. Kind of like to extend one leg out and then maybe another leg out. And then when you're ready, we'll just head into our Shavasana in whatever shape or position feels most comfortable for you here. So what we'll do is that we'll spend a few minutes in Shavasana to completely relax and let the body decompress. And using this as a transition time before we head into a short pranayama sequence and then a short meditation. Letting the body soften. So softening the eye gaze, softening the eyebrows, the jaw, releasing the tongue from the roof of the mouth, letting the lips part slightly. Fingers curling into the center of the palms if you've got them extended.
We'll just take a few more deep breaths in our Shavasana. See if you can deepen into your inner world. Letting go of any distractions, any thought paths that pull you out of your practice. And just lovingly drawing your attention back to the present. We'll just start to make some soft movements with our body. Keeping the eyes closed though, keeping the inner gaze really still. Please take your time here. We'll find a way in a seat, in a Sukhasana. Or any other seated position that feels good. We're going to practice some pranayama, breath expansion, life force expansion, and then we'll head straight into a short meditation. We'll try a different pranayama practice that we haven't done before here. It's called Sitali, which is our cooling breath. You might like to open your eyes because it looks a little bit different than what we usually practice. It involves rolling your tongue. And if you can't roll your tongue, then you can just have the tongue behind your teeth. And what you're going to do, you're going to roll your tongue. You're going to breathe in through your mouth, through the tongue. You should feel quite a cooling sensation. Then retract the tongue back into your mouth as you breathe out through your nose. We'll just be here for a few minutes, but you might like to watch me practice a few times before you practice. I encourage you to close your eyes once you've found your flow. Keep remembering to breathe into those three parts, so the chest, the ribs, and the diaphragm. So I'm just going to roll my tongue. See if you can lengthen the inhales and exhales here. I'll let you know when we finish our pranayama so that we can head into our meditation.
We'll try maybe about 3 to 4 more rounds. When you're ready, we will return back to normal breath, breathing in and out through the nose. And just notice the natural focus that you can accumulate from practicing pranayama. We'll be here for another few minutes. You can be seated. If you would prefer to lie down, that is also an option. Last few moments to still the mind. And keeping the mind soft, keeping the breath easy. Make some small movements with the body again. Maybe circling through the jaw, the eyebrows, moving the fingertips, moving the toes, perhaps drawing the head from one side and then the other. If you do have time and you would like to stay in this meditation for longer, I highly encourage you. Otherwise, if you're on your back, let's come back into a seat. If you're in a seat, perhaps just opening the eyes ever so subtly. and just reflecting on our yoga practice, keeping your eye gaze soft on a point in front of you, reflecting on the purpose of our yoga practice, stilling the mind. And our practice of yoga is not just done on our mat. It is brought out into every day, every minute that we are awake, we can practice our yoga. And it doesn't necessarily need to be with shapes with our body or necessarily with breath expansion. It just comes back to the mind. Let's bring our hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me and practicing with me today. I hope to see you again sometime soon, where you move and breathe and become more still so we can experience life more vibrantly with more ease. Namaste. I will also be running a challenge on my Instagram page, Current Movement, throughout January, where I will be posting short 10 to 15 minute movement videos, not just asana, perhaps more strength-based, more cardio-based, just to lift our energy or to draw our energy back in. And perhaps we'll include some pranayama and some meditation as well. If you would like to follow along, then follow the page, Current Movement. This will be done in New Zealand time, but if you are overseas, I will be uploading them so that you can do them later on the day if you cannot make it. They will be at different times throughout the day, so maybe you might be able to make one or two. I hope to see you there. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy the rest of the year and have a great, nourishing time to celebrate yourself, celebrate the people around you and what you have accomplished this year. See you next time.